Hello guys, this is Joe speaking. Welcome to LJPCBM Reacts, episode 419, and today we're reacting to Purple Roads, episode 12, and we're reacting to this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm Carrie Stinson, and my journey through life has been quite an adventure. For over 20 years, I played Barney the Dinosaur on tour, and 7 seasons of the hugely popular TV show, Barney and Friends. Now, my journey is to bring together friends and guests from all over the entertainment world for inspiring and at times amusing behind-the-scenes conversation. I'm Carrie Stinson, and this is Purple Roads.
Wow.
Welcome to another episode of Purple Roads. I am so glad you're here with me. I'm Carrie Stinson. You can see I got Patrick McAllister, and I got lots of Barney friends with me this week. I cannot wait to get to talking with them. We want to thank our host and our sponsor, Infusion HF70, for sponsoring Purple Roads. And we're just going to jump in right now. I'm so excited to have Patrick here, but we've also got Josh Martin. What's up? And Margaret, I want to say Foster, but Margaret Stickney here with us. 3 of us guys here were on the road with Barney for years, and then Margaret's the one that kind of kept us all in line. I can't even say enough about Margaret. She helped build the costume. She took care of all of us. I am so thrilled you're here, and we have so many people that can't wait to hear from you. So, Patrick, what year were you on the road?
I started on Barney's Colorful World in 2003, and
Okay.
it was until about 2007.
Okay.
And I did some special events and stuff, but kind of in the tour or in between tours and
Wow.
after tours.
Right.
So yeah, 2003 was when I started.
And then you were on one of the episodes as well, and with Josh.
I was on a few episodes. Yeah, I think Josh played the monkey,
The bear.
The bear. That's what it was. Yeah. And
Wow.
I was one half of the elephant, so it was a 2-person costume. Yeah.
And then Josh, what years were you on the road?
96 to 99. Yeah.
Wow. And then Margaret, when did you join all of this crazy circus?
I started in '99 to do costuming for Musical Castle.
Okay.
So I did all the kids' costume with Lisa Alberson.
Okay.
And ended up working with Alan Nelson on the set
Right.
until 2001 through I think 6 or something like that.
Wow.
And then
Through Barney's Colorful World.
right.
Wow.
And then you came and played with me
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
PBS.
I was requested.
Yes.
To-
Yes.
To
I
be
think I begged a little
taken
bit.
off the road
Yes.
all of a sudden.
Please, I must.
Yes.
Man.
It turned out to be fun though.
The road is probably, and I love doing the TV show, but the road is probably one of my favorite things I ever did. It was such a special experience. I started on Barney's Big Surprise. I actually got to do 94 Barney Live, but then that wasn't a tour, that was a one-off. And then I got to do Barney's Surprise and Musical Castle.
Wow.
The amount of memories from it is just incredible. Right off the bat, just off the top of your head, Patrick, what's your favorite memory that you had being on the road?
Oh wow! I can think of 5, but I'll try to narrow it down.
Give me 3.
3. Right off the bat, honestly, on the road was probably Nashville, which was the first city we went to. It's where we rehearsed. We rehearsed for 1 week before our opening
Wow.
night.
If you watch this, Bobby, this is for you. Continue on.
And that was when it all it really came together, and where we all got to know each other, because
Yeah.
a lot of us were all actors who we might have met at the audition, but we really didn't know each other that well. So over that course of a week, there was long hours of like rehearsing and really getting to like bond together. That was always really special for me. Just it was probably that week that I realized like I didn't know it at the time, but this was going to be a really cool family and that I was going to get to be a part of.
Right.
That still holds a very special place in me. Absolutely. So I would say the first city, Nashville, that was where it all began.
And had you ever been in a costume before?
I've done costume work before,
Okay.
nothing as I guess famous as but
Right.
that was pretty amazing. So,
Sure.
But I've done some small stuff here and there. But,
Sure.
Yeah, nothing like Barney. Yeah.
Yeah, and you stepped in at a time when Barney was big.
Yeah. I did.
I mean, he was already huge when that all happened.
And I didn't even know I was auditioning for the role of Barney. Actually, I thought I was auditioning for one of the backup dancers, and it wasn't until I was watching Rick Starkweather's interview.
Right.
He had very similar.
Wow.
Because you were on tour with Rick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rick was he was my brother. We were in the audition together, and looking back on that, it's still just so funny to me. Like, we were complete strangers,
Right.
walking into that room as they narrowed down the selects for who was going to be playing Barney. And there was this guy, right? We were walking down the hall, and he goes, "Can you believe this?" And I'm like, "No, I thought I was going to be a penguin. I had no idea." And there was 2 chairs in the room, and we sat down, and our lives changed. It was amazing. It was really.
And who was that with? Who was at that audition?
It was at that audition. Margaret was there.
Margaret.
Sloan Coleman was there.
Sloan, who's a big friend of
Absolutely.
all of this, and we love Sloan. Josh is smiling.
Hello,
Sloan's
Sloan.
amazing. I love her. Miss Penny was there.
And sweet Miss Penny, who we talk about a lot
Yeah.
on this show,
Absolutely.
how she's impacted all of our lives.
She absolutely changed my life. I think about her often. She's such an amazing woman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
there was
2 more.
Yeah. Two more
Yeah.
memories. Oh, I thought you'd forget about that.
No.
Okay. So let's see. There's Nashville. Going to something that I thought was very cool
Yeah.
was going to both Puerto Rico and Mexico City.
Yeah.
Because we did the show in Spanish,
Right.
and my Spanish was a little rusty, so we had to listen to the songs and everything, and
Yeah.
a lot of it was just cues for me. But what was really cool about it was going from the English language to
Yeah.
Spanish, and seeing the reactions these kids had to all the songs,
Right.
and just doing the coordinated dances
Yeah.
and everything. That was really cool to see, like especially in I think it was Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Being able to just be
Oh
packed.
gosh, it was
Just like
when those curtains
superstar.
curtains opened up. That was a good memory actually, because it was in Nashville as well. The first time that curtain opened up and hearing the screams, that like hit me in the chest. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Wow.
this is amazing. So so that was really cool seeing kids get to see Barney in their own language,
Yeah.
and get to
Wow.
dance along, and they were so passionate. It was just so amazing.
And I see Josh smiling because we've had our own stories and adventures about doing the show in Mexico and,
Wow.
and Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Doing that language,
Mhm.
what people don't understand is how much faster it is.
Yeah.
And so for us to be able to pull off
Getting
the
that-
sync, pull that sync was a lot of work. And none of us, you don't speak Spanish, do you?
Not anymore.
Okay. Well, I
did
didn't
for a
speak
while.
any, and I know Josh didn't. And so for us to have to learn this,
Yeah.
you weren't learning the words, you were just learning really the sync of it, and the
Yeah.
rhythm of it.
Exactly.
To be able to keep up with that. And boy,
Exactly.
you really had to stretch to get ready for something like that.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
absolutely.
And I know Mexico, I mean,
I learned all of my Spanish colors
Well,
through the rainbow song.
Oh yeah. Think about that.
That was awesome. Mama Ganza. Mother Goose.
yeah, I've told the story before. I did one of the like a Good Morning Mexico, and I don't speak Spanish at all, and they gave me 5 words, amor, this and that, and I went out there and I just listened for the word, and if I heard it, I did a jump or a hug or something, and I got off, and they were like, "That was amazing." I'm like, I hope so, because I have no clue what happened, but the passion of the fans was amazing down there.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, they were incredible. It was, and honestly, it was just really awesome to get to travel and get to see these places as well.
Wow.
I love traveling, and the tour brought me a huge opportunity to get to do that. I mean, I was 21 when I started doing the tour,
Right.
and I was young and ready to see the world, and the tour gave me that opportunity. I saw some amazing places, met some incredible people, and yeah.
Well, isn't it incredible that we're all here, and I haven't seen some of you. I haven't seen you in a while, and I haven't seen you in a while. But
Yeah.
it's like I saw you yesterday.
I know, yeah.
Hey, Margaret,
it's-
what's up? Hey, Pat.
Yeah, like
Family,
I haven't seen Margaret in a couple of years, but it's like right off the bat, it feels like we just saw each other like last week. Yeah, and same with you. Yeah, and it's like, hey, there's Carrie. It's like, hey, what's going on? We haven't seen each other in like 5 years.
But it's that bond that's
Yeah.
so close of what you did and the passion. And that's what I try to explain. Our Purple Road fans are so passionate, which is amazing. And I've always wanted them to understand we're just as passionate.
Yeah.
We didn't just go do this for money. You notice no one's talking about money. We're all talking about the fact that the love and the experiences and the bonds and that, I think that's amazing. I think that's incredible. And I get to see this man all the time. I love this guy to death, and so we bonded very close right off the bat. I'd heard so much about him before I met him. And Sloan, she said, he's got a heart like you. Like, you two are just gonna, and boy, we did. We went to war, doing every night like that, and it's just amazing. I see you smile talking about Rick Starkweather.
Yeah.
Well, there's my Rick Starkweather,
Yeah.
and the bond that we had was amazing.
Absolutely.
I don't know what any of us have done without this lady right here.
Yeah.
So Josh, tell me about this lady.
Wow, Margaret. Let's see. I probably met you on the road, randomly in and out,
Maybe,
coming
yeah.
to do some things, but we did the Mall of America
We did.
for a whole week.
That's right.
Wow.
I forgot about that.
Right? Did you?
I did.
I
That's
tried
right.
to too.
Yeah, I had
Sorry,
kids.
didn't
I've
mean to
had
bring
2
it up.
kids. It's like, you were
But yeah, Margaret's amazing.
But what's the importance? What's the importance of the dresser? I know what it is, and I will say mine here in a second. But what is the importance of? Because they're not just someone that gets you into the costume.
Right?
Well,
It's so much more than that. That's important to say.
Yeah, because you could be in there 4 hours or something.
Yes.
And there's not an easy way to get out or get a drink.
Yeah, but the other aspects is that I'll jump in. When we're on the show, you know me. You know when I'm having a bad day. I have bad days, whether my stomach was upset or mentally or whatever. And what I've always said on this show is that when I'm in that costume, Carrie's gone. Because no one wants to see Carrie. They want to see Barney. And it's the same thing when the 3 of us are doing it. And
Wow.
so you've got a person that knows. I don't go to the producers or anyone and say I'm this or that. I've had that root canal, all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I'm sure she's watching
Yeah.
this, but you have someone that's there no matter what. For whatever happens, whether it was a TV show or on the road. And I think that bond that you have with your dressers is such an important aspect.
Yeah, I mean, Margaret, excuse me, she not only took care of the costume, made them look good, but she also took care of us, made sure we were hydrated, or she could tell, hey, you need a break.
Yeah.
No, I'm taking
Yeah.
him.
I would fight.
I've heard it a couple
I would
of
fight for
times.
him, yeah.
Right.
I'm
No,
like,
Barney's
no,
taking a
he's
break.
gone.
Sorry, he's
out.
leaving
I'm
set.
sorry, yeah. If I have to, I will just take him. Yeah. I would give him time. Like, okay, he's been in for 2 hours. He's been in for okay, that's it. We're out. We're leaving and walk. That was my job. I had to know when it was time, or if he needed something.
And that's important. I talk about Texas all the time. I wear Texas on my shirts. Because we're in Texas, we're not union. So the rules are a little bit different than if this show would have been done in New York or if it would have been done in LA. And so we were obviously in these costumes. We were in incredible shape. But we were in these costumes longer than you normally would be in them.
Wow.
And so, and for how we're doing the show, the hours you're shooting, and you have kids, there's laws that the kids have to follow. So you've got to have someone to be able to step in and say, Josh is probably not going to say something. Patrick's probably not going to say something.
But I
Yep.
gotta know.
But I gotta say something. I've seen, I know these guys, or I know
Yep.
whoever
This a good-
is in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This woman was raised on a farm,
Yeah.
and
Still. But anyway, continue on.
Yeah,
tough.
that's true. Yeah, tough. I remember defending you from some bees one time.
What's
We're on
that
the Ferris, we
Yeah.
shot that Ferris wheel scene, and there was like bees in the cage where they were putting Barney into, and of course I had to lay in there. I mean, I wasn't really scared, but I think you have a little bee fear. But I was just like, slapped those bees, smashed them with my hands, and the Ferris wheel driver was like, "No, that's a woman." So like that, I was like, "We gotta go, we gotta get him in there." Yeah, that was really funny.
And I'm glad you said that. We did a video with that, and I'm scared to death.
Yeah.
I'm scared to death of heights.
And then there were bees.
And
all over.
they have stuck me so many times in positions,
Oh my gosh.
and
Hot air balloons.
yeah, well, hot air
Well,
balloons,
yeah.
with BJ, and but I was on top of Radio City Music Hall on the marquee, and it scared me to death. But on that video that we're talking about, what people don't know is that she was in that with me, holding my legs,
Laying on the
Oh
ground.
my.
laying on the ground, holding my legs, and I'm like,
Curled
don't
up in there.
you dang
Yeah.
let go of me. And she's holding on to me, and she's talking me through the thing. While I'm waving and acting like, Barney's having a good time. He's not having a good
He's
time.
not having a good time.
He's having
He
a rough
was
time.
Going through it. Yeah, that's
But you do that because you know the kids are going to love it, and it's going to be such a cool thing. And I know I can go to her, and I know you all had this. So
Yeah.
on tour we had a cruise ship virus go through literally the entire cast, and so I'm like Sprite and crackers to everyone, but I'm going in the stalls at the
Did she just say crackers as in s'mores? I don't know. Continue on.
bathroom, like, who's not throwing up right at this moment?
Yeah.
Are you okay? You ready? Can you stand?
Yeah.
Okay, you're in. And I'm like,
There was some
throwing up.
times.
That was wild.
Ooh.
I mean, we were down to like, am I getting in this suit? What's happening? Like, the show continued. Yeah, we did.
We need a Barney staff.
We need someone this height. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all like the buses on tour?
Oh yeah.
Did we what?
Did you like the buses?
Oh, I love the
Tour
buses.
on tour?
Oh, yeah, that was, I mean, it's like when I talked earlier, like that first week in Nashville, like when we all got to know each other, there is no better way to know other people than to live on a capsule that's
15
traveling across the country together.
Like-
But it was a blast. It was, I
Wow.
mean, we probably had too much fun on the buses because, like, they had, what was it, PlayStation 2 back then? That's an old model of PlayStation, by the way, that is no longer made. But yeah, they're on like 9 now, I think. No, but I mean, there was so many good times of us just watching, silly movies and eating after show pizza. And,
Wow.
And just getting to know each other better, and getting to talk about our lives. And,
That was kind of the downtime.
yeah.
I mean, yours
exactly.
like it could be a long drive, and so overnight,
Yeah, there'd be some long drives.
Sometimes you would stay up all night. Just, I mean, get to know somebody.
Yeah,
No doubt.
yeah.
I loved sleeping in that little coffin. Like the best sleep ever. You're like, unless we had a bus driver who was a little sketchy sometimes. You're like, oh, it's a little bit scary. I'm gonna go sit in the front.
I was terrified of
this
this
bus.
bus,
Yeah.
but I got used to it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I
this
was
is
like,
kind of
zip,
the
nobody wake
curtain.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which bunk did you have?
I always, I think I had the top bunk first because I was Margaret
We
was
were
right
across each
across
other,
from me.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
we were right
"Hey,
across
nice
from me.
project," yeah.
Because after the first city, like I didn't know really how the tour worked, and it's like they would leave the keys on the table on the front bus lobby, and I like to sleep, and turns out so did Margaret because
Everyone knew Don't Wake Me.
yeah, oh
That's
yeah.
my little coffin sleeping place.
You're right.
Wonderful
Everybody,
sleep.
we got to Philadelphia. That was the next city after Nashville, and there was only one other person that I could hear sleeping in there. And I was like, everybody else left, and it was Margaret.
Sketchy
And I saw,
sometimes.
yeah, exactly. So I was didn't know where we were parked. I'm like, all right, well, here we go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, sometimes the bus would not be at the hotel, so.
oh
I think,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I think Corby and I one time woke up late. It was like 1. Yeah. We got our bags off the bus and they like sank into snow like this deep, and we're like, where are we? Like we have no clue. Like they try to wake you up before they move the bus, but apparently we were tired.
Well, what people
Yeah.
don't understand, and it's important because you're going to get a lot of behind the scenes talk, but to let you understand, we were out on the road, 9 months out of the year, and we were out probably 3 months before we had a break of any type. And it's night after night after night after night. And this crew right here also had to do hospital visits. We had to do morning TV shows. So there was a lot going on, and living on that road with 50 people. I will tell one of myself that I was notorious when we do some of those morning shows. I would go on the bus at like 3 in the morning or something, and I would leave a note on the bus driver's seat. I'm sleeping. Wake me up when we're at the TV station. And I
Oh,
just people would
my.
be freaking out. Where is he? And the bus driver's like, oh, he's been sleeping for hours. I got a note from him.
It's a genius idea. I wish I thought about that back in the day. Man.
But you learned over that. I didn't know that at the beginning. When I did it, it was me and David Moss. We were the only 2 people that had been with Barney when the first tour went out.
Wow.
And I knew David, but I didn't know him really well. But I knew him. And so we went through the same experience of
Wow.
getting to know everyone and all the different personalities. And I mean, it's the circus a lot.
Yeah.
You've got such a range of people.
Absolutely.
But how close you become is amazing. Patrick, tell me about your favorite moment with a fan, with a kid, some experience that really just touched you.
Oh, I know exactly. There was one in particular. It was in 2003. It was probably a few months into the tour. really, it was kind of a life-changing moment. There was, we did the hospital visits.
Sure.
Every time we went to a different town in the TV the TV weather visits. Barney would do the weather and stuff. But visiting the kids in the hospital, that was always a really touching thing for us to do.
Right.
It was beautiful to be able to. And at first I getting to become a part of the tour, it was like, wow, a lot of actors would think like this is a really cool opportunity. I get to see the world, and that's awesome.
Right.
And it was great. Like I said, I was a 21-year-old kid who I was just very happy. I was so grateful to be there.
Wow.
And when visiting all these kids in the hospital and seeing how excited they were, and realizing that you were making a difference, to get to visit each one of them. There was one little girl that who was I can't remember which city it was, but I remember Margaret was my wrangler, and
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember walking into the room, and this little girl looked like exactly like my little sister when she
Wow.
was little,
Yeah.
and she was so excited to see me, and her mom was teary-eyed, and seeing how excited she was, and it was pretty overwhelming. I was in the suit, I was really taken aback. And getting to talk to her and visit her, and she had this sweet little voice, Barney, just was so excited. And it was really at that moment that I realized this was far more than just a gig.
Right.
It was
Wow.
I got to be a part of something that was really significant in people's lives, and it changed me for the better as well. It truly did. It was getting to see that excitement and how much these kids just really love Barney genuinely, and made me love Barney
Right.
more. That was a game changer for me, and from there on, I realized that I was a part of something that was moving, that was so much more spectacular than I could ever imagine.
Wow.
And I remember that moment. I carry that moment with me every day.
Yeah, I think it's something you'll find common that we all were. I was 23 when I started, and it was a job. I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the responsibility of all of that, and it just changed.
Absolutely.
For you, Josh, with a
Yeah.
kid, is there something specifically that you remember? A city?
Yeah, there was probably three specific events.
Sure.
One was a burn unit.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah. And I've
Wow.
had that experience too. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. The other one was left the Polaroid for the kid and asked to have it delivered, and told that the kid probably wouldn't get it. So that was tough. But then probably the best, happiest one was Oakland, California.
Yeah.
We went to the Boys and Girls Club, and it was just a room full of kids, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the kids are timid. There's a couple of them that are just no fear. They're on you,
Right.
But they're few and far between mostly. There was a group of like 80 kids.
Yeah.
And I got done singing, they all just went, bleh. All right. It's a good day.
That's awesome.
Margaret, what was it like having to take us through that? Going through the hospital with a purple dinosaur, but you can actually have interaction with
Right.
people in a different way. They're seeing your face.
Yeah,
What was it for
parents
you?
come to you like you don't understand. Like she hasn't smiled in like years,
Right.
or whatever. Yeah, gosh, and it's hard because you kind of want to be smiling too. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I could hear Barney crying inside sometimes. It's like yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Like the children's advocacy and those kind of places, it's hard. But
Right.
been through some stuff. And it's sad.
But what I've always said about it, I think is so amazing to me, is that I've never seen sadness. I know there's
Yeah, that's
sadness is
true.
what you're talking about,
Yeah, they're always
but we didn't see
smiling.
sadness.
It's not only to us because we know
What's going
how
through-
hard their
going through.
lives are and what they've gone through, and the parents have gone through. I mean, sometimes the parents are crying.
Sure.
But the kids are never sad.
No.
They're just happy.
Yeah.
Because their friend's there.
Yeah, their big buddy Barney's there.
That's right. Their friend is there.
Loves them unconditional. Yeah. He's always there. That's.
Yeah,
I mean.
I know it's absolutely amazing. When was the first time you dealt with? I think for all of us, we dealt with Make-A-Wish kids, and you go into this understanding that this is not going to be long, and the experience of that. We would do a couple of them on PBS, and we would do them after lunch, and then say, well, we're going to be back in, and they're like, no, we're gonna need a moment. You're dealing with emotions that you probably never had before.
Like, not a dry eye in the crew.
Right.
Nope.
Early men. Just,
Right.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you, Patrick?
That was always the few times that we had the Make a Wish Foundation come in. The first one, I didn't realize he was actually a Make a Wish Foundation recipient. He came in, and it was I wish I could remember which city it was. I do want to say it was maybe out in California, but it was an amazing organization. They came in and doing the meet and greet and taking pictures. And honestly, what was really amazing about it was it wasn't just a, hey, get your picture taken, here's your Polaroid, and like, okay, and next. It was really special to get to be able to spend time with these children and to honestly to interact with them.
Yes.
To get to and having Dave Voss who was there as well to kind of be our voice since
People have seen.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, check out the Dave Voss episode.
Which I already reacted to, so continue on.
You won't stop smiling. We're still all blown away. We don't think he's aged.
No.
I don't know what he's doing, but I don't think he's aged.
Yeah.
But it's an episode. Please check out.
He's such Dave Voss is such an amazing person, and he would interact with us and be our voice to really bring us together, and getting to see some of these kids who I wasn't aware of maybe their circumstance, but for that moment and for that meeting and for that playtime really with Barney, that was probably one of the most special things we could ever imagine. I'm going to be a part of.
Yeah.
It was really incredible. As Margaret said, there's some of those times where you do get a little choked up.
Sure.
But honestly, looking back on it, especially now, a lot of it is just tears of happiness.
Right.
Like to get to be a part of that, and like I got to, it's like he got to meet his hero Barney, but in some way, like this child who I didn't even know, like he was a big influence on me.
Right.
He was a
Wow.
hero of mine in a way too. It was really awesome.
Josh.
Wow. They're all tough.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the amazing part is that, especially you have three guys sitting in here that usually don't show you guys don't show their emotion, and we had no choice. I don't think any of us knew what we were. They didn't tell you part of that with the audition.
No.
And I think we were all figuring out about the physical part of it, but the emotional part was something of what you were dealing with, and it's something that obviously the producers saw, and some saw, and Miss Penny saw, because they knew that it was way more than just performing on stage. So I think amazing here. I want to talk for a minute, change subjects a little bit, because I know some of the questions the Purple Roads fans want to know. So we'll start with you, Josh. Let's find out a little bit about what you had. And I'll start with myself to make this easier for you. That you were right for that costume. For me, one of the reasons I got this job, if people don't know, is that I was a cross-country runner. So physically, I could go for days and days and days. I'd run marathons. I did all of that aspect of it. Thank God my mom was a dancer because I'm not, but she was able to, people heard the story, be able to get me through that.
Wow.
Did you have athletics in your background? Did you have acting? All the things that made you for the suit?
I grew up playing soccer and football. I kicked football, played soccer, played goalkeeper for soccer. So.
And I'm sorry, where was that at?
Haughton, Louisiana.
Wow.
Louisiana. Google it.
And if you don't know,
Dak Prescott
is from
quarterback of Dallas Cowboys. Graduated from the same high school under the same coach, Coach Rodney Goodwin.
Wow.
All right.
Do we got to give Rodney some shout out here?
Definitely. What's up, Rodney? Thank you. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I had some athletic ability, and I was hungry and poor and crazy.
And your acting chops, did you have some at that point, or improv? Did you have anything?
Yeah, I just finished acting school, and I learned some stuff and done some comedy troupes, so I'd started to get a little more my first major gig. It was awesome. It was,
Wow.
It was cool.
Did you, Patrick?
Well, for me, it was as far as like kind of adapting in the costume. I grew up doing martial arts, and I did some dance and acrobatics, gymnastics. I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle growing up. So I roller skated, I played hockey, and all of these things. Like, it's weird how all of these things came together. But during the audition, they were like, okay, you're gonna be roller skating in this 60-pound costume, and I'm like, got it. Like, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
jump spins, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been training for this my whole life. It was, and I'm a musician as well, so rhythm came very naturally to me. I think that was probably the biggest thing is, and being able to adapt, because our audition, we had to learn to dance right then and there. And we had to repeat it over and over, and they started whittling people down until before you knew it, they threw the costume over you, and that was.
They can't handle it.
Yeah, it was. It was. So it was just being able to adapt that. And I'd done mime for a while as well. I was always interested in movement, and there's no better movement or whatever the word is than Barney, because he's moving around and doing.
Wow, okay, that was amazing. I think it was amazing when it comes with him just talking about hockey and things like that. Just me actually play bowling for many years. Continue on.
Really, as you all know, it's some really acrobatic and high energy stuff. So I was very fortunate that
He's one of the most physical characters you'll ever see. That people I don't realize how physical that character was. And if I did it right now, and as you see the David Ross that you saw me dance a little bit, I'd have to do double that to make that costume. Even if I did the regular movement, it wouldn't even move.
Yeah.
So you really had to do that, and I think that's something people don't understand. And obviously, none of us are claustrophobic because you wouldn't be able to do that.
That's what I was.
Either.
I need to add that to my. That's what got me in. I was told that between me and the 3 dancers that I was up against at the end, I was the only one who didn't freak out.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
it was.
I was like, I'm in a giant Muppet. No copyright infringement.
Well, it's almost like when you become. I mean, you kind of become part of it. It's almost like Barney really takes over. Like it just he inhabits whoever is performing with him. I think that's what it was like whenever stepping in there. Especially once everything came together and you were on. Yeah. It was
Action.
Action. That curtain opens up. It was no longer Patrick or anybody else. Rick. It was Barney. So,
This one right here. Now, the skill level that this lady has here that most people don't understand. Obviously, she took care of us. She knew all the. But I don't know if there's anything you can't sew, anything you can't put together. We put those costumes through a lot. If people don't know that, tearing stuff, ripping stuff.
Sometimes I'd have to go in there right after you or for 4 hours and fix stuff.
Should have been paid double for that or triple.
Sorry.
Yeah. But where did you get all that? Where did you learn to sew and learn all the skills of what you do? Because you're still doing it. You're making all kinds of things.
I love to sew. My grandmother sewed, my mom sewed, and so I watched my mom sew my whole life, and I just picked it up and decided, I just found a little notebook. When my dad passed away, I'm going through stuff, and it was like all my school classmates had written what they were going to be when they grew up. It's like rodeo, blah, blah, whatever. Because I grew up in a small town, Freer, Texas,
Yes. We got a Texas
Nobody
girl
knows
in the
it.
house.
Yeah. But yeah, but fashion designer. That was like, what? I remember my counselors in school were like, what, maybe you want to do business degree or something. I'm like, no, fashion designer. So,
Oh my.
But I went to school fashion design, and I ended up interning for costuming in a theater. And I worked here in theater center and stuff like that. That's where I met Lyle Huckton, who was like, you're coming with me. You're gonna work here.
Yes.
At this, and so.
We all know and love Lyle.
Love Lyle. Thank you,
Yeah.
Lyle. Yeah. So,
Yes.
but I don't know. I think it was after doing that first musical castle costume, and then at the end, I'm just living. It was amazing. It was I was 19 or whatever. I was like, this is amazing, and I was going back to the theater center, but Alan Elson came. He just wandered through. One day we were like in this little backspace at the studios, and he was just like, anybody here I mean, the console that wants to stay, I need someone to fill a space. And I was like, what does it pay? Sure, sounds good, you know. And I stayed, and that was, I mean, I was just good at the foam, which was weird. I never learned how to do that, but I've always had a knack for, I mean, can you put covered fur buttons on this jacket? I'm like, I guess. Or make a skirt out of AstroTurf? I'm sure, I'll try. You know, like, I'm never going to say no. Someone else can do it, so I might as well be me. So that's like, yeah, so just was good at it. And I ended up getting to work with Irene Corey and Suzanne Lockridge, who were the original designers of
Yes.
Barney. So that was pretty cool, too. Got some trade secrets from her on how to keep them up and stuff like that on the
Right.
road. And yeah, and I even worked for her after we stopped filming, and so worked for her until I had kids. And
Yeah.
it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, but I think the important thing is all the challenges of what you had to do, as you just talked about in AstroTurf.
It's not something you can just, here's my little pattern from Joanne's, and I'm gonna cut a Barney out today or whatever. No,
Wow.
like hours upon days. I mean, just as once you have them together, it takes 3 days just to hand sew it in place and make it look good. So, yeah.
And then, with the TV show, we were also roller skating. I jumped in a pool,
Oh gosh.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had some issues that Purple Roads
You've been on
fans.
Trivial Pursuit, right?
No, he had some issues with the costume too that
Yeah, that's
we've
fine.
heard about.
Yeah.
What biggest challenge? Something they asked you to do that you weren't sure, or you just
Yeah.
did you have something?
Yeah, well, kind of after, like, we kind of had a transition towards the end where, like, our shop, Mark Wagenhurst and Shauna had left, and so they kind of wanted to change Barney up and make him more sleek at the bottom, like his legs and feet.
Wow.
And my partner Philip and I had this idea. I'm like, what about magnet or whatever? So, so we had some ideas, and it was literally crazy. Some of the stuff like we were putting into Barney, it was like attacking us and like
Wow.
grab my scissors and come stab me, But
Well, you're
and
gonna
having
have
to
fans trying to
sew
figure out what in the world you
things
guys did.
in, like we're like, we worked with Kevlar and
Yeah.
magnets and stuff, and and it really worked. I was like, they had been told over and over they can't change it or whatever, and I was like, why not? Let's try, So and it worked, and it was even kind of easier to get you in and out. So
I remember the Kevlar changeover.
Yeah.
That's when the
Yep.
suit became lighter too.
yes, made it. Yeah, that was
incredible.
that last. That's right. You were a part of the last tour and that was with Shauna and Mark. They had hired a guy who taught them how to do that, and
Okay.
and Philip and them, they changed got rid of a lot of that weight because it was used probably 60 pounds, and then he became more like 30 pounds.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was
still
only half.
heavy. But
Yeah, because he was in the 70-80 range
right.
when I
Oh, yeah.
started.
Wow.
In the beginning.
And there was no,
Yeah.
there wasn't fans, there was nothing.
Yeah.
We were in our t-shirt and
Oh
a
my
pair of
gosh,
shorts, and we shared it.
Yep.
So David Joyner would be in, he would get out, I would get in on some of the appearances and things. Yeah, but
I mean,
when
just
you
any
need a
little-
job,
Yeah.
you don't really know what you're doing at that point.
Yeah.
It all,
Yeah.
to see the one that I had then that I was using, and then the one at the end that you had done with all
Yeah.
of there's all kinds of tricks that they did to make it easier on
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I'd have someone call like from Universal or somewhere,
Yeah.
like, hey, this Barney needs a new leg or something. I'm like, okay. It's like I can't just mail you a leg. It doesn't work like that. Like I have to come for days, undo him, put it all. It doesn't just like you can't just put a piece on or like a
Yeah,
loose
this is a
sleeve of a
highly
shirt.
skilled-
Man.
Yeah, it's
You
like
can't just put it in a suitcase and ship it to
I don't just have Barney legs in my back room. Yeah,
We need to
yeah.
overnight an arm.
Yeah, I'd probably do an arm. I'd probably give you an arm. Give you that. That might be the easiest thing to replace. Teeth. I can do that.
Yeah, still. Even though it's cool enough because put them teeth in behind it, so if you break the teeth, you lose it. Continue on.
A leg or yeah. Yeah.
Never mind, you'd send it to them. They wouldn't know what to
They
do.
wouldn't know what to do. I could send them all the instructions exactly how to do it, and it would take you. It takes a while to figure it out. It
Yeah.
took a long time.
Yeah.
That's why she was so forced.
All right, Margaret. So you got the three of us here. What was it like with Josh?
Aw, funny. It's always never a dull moment with Josh, right? Oh man, yeah. Awesome. Everyone's awesome. Patrick's like a brother. He's my little brother. My boo bear. He's just fun. Carrie, we were like a team. Like we fly together. We try. Like when we do those events and stuff and work every day. Yeah, it's like
You rely on her.
Right.
I relied on
Yeah.
you so much.
You didn't even really have to tell me. I knew kind of your cues, and I could tell. I mean, I could tell with you too, but I didn't know you that well. You didn't work as much, but
No,
it's where I could go. He needs this. She would probably tell me.
I would.
You'd have to pry it out of you.
I was digging it. I
Yeah.
never had many problems.
Yeah, you're easy breezy.
We got some water when I get out?
Get your water ready. Yeah, I didn't have to perfectly mix the Gatorade.
So, Margaret, what was your favorite city?
Oh gosh. Man, I don't know. That's hard. I can think of some I didn't like. No, just kidding. I was like Toronto, of course, New York City. Who doesn't like New York City? But Toronto was like a surprising one. Like it's like a clean, small little New York City.
Yeah.
I can't remember like first time I ever saw snow was on the tour too. So,
Wow.
Well, how about that?
Very cold place. Yeah,
They
winter
don't
peg
have
as I like to
snow?
call.
No
No,
snow in Freer?
You know what? In the last few years, they've had snow, which is really crazy. What is happening in the world? But no, yeah, I did never. You know, I think I thought I knew what snow was. Like I was like, oh yeah, like we get ice storms or whatever. The cactus would be covered in ice or the barbed wire. But yeah, I'm just sitting in and this is embarrassing probably to my mom and everything. But I'm sitting in the little cramped 15-passenger van, just probably somewhere, and snow is hitting the glass of the window, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a snowflake. Like I never.
Yeah, it was like a snowflake. Like, is it Christmas or something? Continue on.
Knew before. I thought snowflakes were maybe like icicles or some kind of like I don't know, a spider web of, embarrassing. But
Freaking scary. Continue on.
from the country. I don't know. But yeah.
Perspective.
Perspective. I was like, I'm seeing snow. And it was cold and crazy. I'm like, who lives here? And they would bundle those babies up and we're like, no one's going to be there. It's going to be shut down. Nope. So white. They're like, storm of the century. It's a whiteout. And there's packed house. They're like, we're getting these babies out of this house, Yeah. We bought these tickets. We're going. Like, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, crazy.
So, Josh, for the first time you went from Haughton, Louisiana, you're on the road. What'd you see? You hadn't seen
All
before.
of it. My first snow was in Pittsburgh, right? And I remember looking out the window, and at one point I just turned, and everybody was staring at me, staring out the window, just like,
Wow.
oh my God, there's so much of it.
Yeah, it's so deep.
And it's so white. It's not slippery.
Yeah. It's all black and like black ice.
Right? Everything. I was just eating it all up because Dallas was the farthest I had ever been away from Louisiana. I mean, really, besides just driving through other places. I dug it. All of
It
them.
was awesome.
What was new for you when you hit the road? What you had seen?
Man, I was kind of a country kid as well. I'm from Waxahachie, Texas, and it's funny hearing Margaret say that was the first time because that was kind of when I first saw snow too, and it was in Toronto as well, and it was pretty overwhelming, especially when you get Canadian flurries.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember running out of the bus and it looked like a scene from a movie. Just snow angels. Just everything. Some of my favorite cities. I really just took in all of it. Getting to go to Europe, that was incredible. Because I had always wanted to go overseas, especially wanted to go to Ireland. We had some amazing experiences, in Europe as well. Going to Ireland, we saw the Pixies and the Red Hot Chili Peppers play in a castle.
I know.
And
Wow.
I was like, I can't believe.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Flea from Wild Thornberries. Continue on.
I'm out here seeing
This
this.
is our life.
Yeah, it's like this is.
We would say that every day, like, this is what we do.
Yeah, this is
our
what we
life.
do.
This
Yeah.
is us. This
It's
is
like we didn't have to pay to come out here. They put us here. It was amazing. But yeah, honestly, Nashville, I think still holds a huge place in my heart, just because that's where it all started and that's where we revisited. And I have some really great memories there. And doing Radio City in New York, that was.
For all of us,
Yeah, that's cool.
it's hard to.
Yeah, it's really hard to beat that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But yeah, there was not a place, I don't think that, I mean, there was definitely, some times where you might not be feeling well in a certain city, or you get the bus flu or whatever it was. You don't get to enjoy it as much, but I took all of it in as much as I could. I was so excited to go from place to place, and it was, all of it was incredible.
I want to thank Josh. I know you got to step out.
Sorry, guys. I'm so glad to see you.
We came in here. See you today.
Be well.
See you.
All right.
As well, brother.
Thank you, Carrie.
We love you,
Best day.
brother.
Love y'all. See ya. Later, man.
So I got a few more minutes with you guys. We lost Josh, but I got you two. So I want to talk a couple more, and you'll see Josh again in the future. And we got a great clip, by the way, you got to check out with Josh and Patrick. Doing a little musical thing that you guys are going to check it out. It's funny, we were talking about snow. I was born in Washington, D.C., so I saw snow as a baby. But what I had never seen before was rainforest, which we got to go to, in Puerto Rico, which I had never seen that before. And it's an amazing, the things that Barney allowed us to do. It's just such a true gift because of what the kids gave us and then the opportunities it gave us. And here we are all these years later. It's pretty amazing. Fans always want to hear the funny stuff, so we'll do a little bit of that here real quick. What did you have? Did you ever have a miss up, a step, a fall, something that happened?
I'm actually proud to say I never fell in that suit.
Wow,
Ever.
I was trying to think.
And to be honest, Josh had to go say see you later thing. That was kind of quick, As far as I'm concerned, he had to say goodbye to these two cast members of Barney's tour. That was quick, but overall, Carrie and these two, Margaret and Patrick, well, we just can't wait for the clip, so let's continue on.
However,
So look at me like I know about 6 of them.
Yeah, right thing.
well, there's one that we won't talk about, but there was I have a few. We did one of the morning shows where Barney would do the weather with the weatherman, and this was pretty early on to where I was still getting to know Barney, the suit and everything. And there was a couch in a room, and Margaret told me, she's like, if you want to, we didn't have an Apple box to sit on that was available in the studio. She's like, and I said, I can just kind of lean up, and she's like, yeah, you can just kind of lean and lean. She's like, you won't have the suit.
Just lay down.
It'll be fine. So I kind of, went over on the suit, and then I just kind of fell completely over. And anybody walking by at the time, they would just see kind of, a big purple dinosaur hanging out there. But they were like, okay, guys, we got 5 minutes, and getting up. That was the hard part, because it was just couldn't redistribute the weight. That was a little difficult, so trying to, I think Margaret was giggling at me too, because it was just legs kicking, and I'm not exactly the tallest guy in the world, so tiny Barney on the couch, just trying to get up.
Wow.
I remember that very clearly. Yeah.
Well, it's important for people to understand that Barney was real. Barney still is real in my mind, and so we couldn't have someone walk us into a room, something like that. Why was Barney being walked into a room? He's real. So the challenges of that is why we need to watch out for exit signs and doors and lights and kind of things like that.
You weren't short either.
And for me,
You were like 6'7", Barney, or something like that.
I was thinking
Wow.
You're like, make sure this, even just a little, fire extinguisher or something like that might be, watch out.
Yeah, it would be close.
Constant.
The one that I always remember was when we were doing that Halloween episode with that pumpkin. Do you
Wow.
remember that? When we were dancing in the pumpkin.
Dancing around and it kept rolling.
And
or
it
something.
rolled and
Right into it every time.
Which I'll explain more about that in Barney and Friends vlog. It'll be some other time. Continue on.
And on the TV show, a little insight here, all of the extras don't know. It's Barney. So when Barney falls over, before you can go get and see if he's okay, you have to get everyone out of the studio. And of course, I'm trying to figure out what in the world has just happened. And then once again, there's probably 3 people having to get me off the ground. And slap me around a little bit before we go do this again. I want to talk about what we're doing now. Margaret, what are you doing these days? Other than mom and
yeah.
that very important job.
Yeah, that's a full-time job. Mom of two. I'm still sewing. I sew. I was like hesitant once I found out I was pregnant. I decided, I worked for, I started doing a lot of Tyler Rose Festival debutante gowns and stuff like that, working in the shops, and I worked for the opera and stuff. But then when I got pregnant, I was like, I just kind of want to work from home if that's possible, you know.
Sure.
And so I didn't know if I'd be poor in the street or something.
Right.
But it worked out, and I do not look for work. It finds me, and so I still do a lot of bridal, make wedding dresses.
Wow.
I've done the debutantes continue to do that. This year there's a Highland Park debutante that I'm doing the little they have little versions of their dress. So I'm making those this year, and my cousin's girls are in WOGA is a acrobatic gymnastics competition. They just did world's competition and got first place. Wearing Leos I've made for them. So
Very cool.
there's like a fun, like little tiny leotard, but it's like bedazzled, and yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. I love it. So yeah, just new things and that might be a new avenue to pursue soon. So besides my bridal, and just always like that kind of evening wear and that kind of fancy stuff, but. And still, I like Greg Butel or some of those guys will call up for like, can you make this random thing for a commercial or art department friends. Yeah, Tim Thomason has called me. I made some.
Because we're all still friends.
Yes,
like,
we all are inner circle.
We're all there for each other.
Forever. Yeah. So So I'll get a random. Can you make a banner or something? Look like it's from 1930 on it. I can try. But yeah, so something random.
Or Margaret, would you be on my podcast?
Would you be on my podcast? What do you want me to talk about? Here's me sewing. No big deal.
Yeah, well, it's fascinating to people.
Yeah.
What you did.
Yeah, and think about all those.
All those-
yeah.
Wow.
The architect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No, yeah.
And then what are you doing these days? I know you acting.
Yeah.
Obviously, music is once again. You'll see the video later.
Yeah, man.
Voiceover.
Doing I've been pretty active in voiceovers for a while, doing a lot of Funimation titles, My Hero Academia.
Wow, Funimation, never heard of them. Well, bits and pieces, getting ready to watch, just listen to, well, it depends on how much time you're gonna listen to, so much, Hip-Hop Harry, which I'm not interested, and things like that. So there you go, let's continue on.
Piece, Ensemble Stars, there's been doing quite a few titles. I just did some dubbing for a couple of films. I don't know if I can say which ones they are now, but actually saw Josh in the studio when doing that, and I am currently the lead guitarist for the Mo Robson Band. We just got
Wow. I did not know you were the lead guitarist in the band. Though you're just a great guy, and if you're a lead guitarist, why not a heavy metal band to continue on?
Album, and that's coming out this summer, so we're playing around Texas, and
Very cool.
having a lot of fun doing that.
What kind of music?
Country, old school country.
Oh, crap. Continue on.
Honky tonk.
We're both smiling. I'm
Yeah.
a huge old school
None of this
country
new
guy.
stuff.
If you like 1970s Waylon Jennings kind of country, we don't do a lot of modern pop country stuff. It's old school,
Good,
and it sounds really good. I'm really excited about the new stuff we're doing. We play all around Dallas. We're going to be playing local places in Dallas and we've played San Angelo. We've got a lot of dates coming up, so that's been keeping me busy, and voiceovers and acting and whatever else I can. Aside from that, I'm just I have a small little ranch in Waxahachie and 2 horses, and living that country life.
I love it. You can't see the boots, but I'm loving them. I'm loving them. All this information will be on the Purple Roads site as well, so you can find out what Mo Robinson and all of that is.
Awesome.
And you probably see me at one of those shows with my boots on too.
Yeah.
And Martin with
These
the
big
Martin
skates.
too, yeah.
Wow.
Big time, Matt.
Yes.
Get the whole family out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Family friend. All right.
I want to end today with, what do you miss the most of the Barney days?
The people. I miss the family. I mean, I've never worked in a place where, like, everyone I could lean on, or it's like it was family. It really was. Like I was like 19 when I started there, so like totally safe environment. Just I miss that. I miss the traveling too, but but the people.
For you?
I've got to mirror that response as well. For me, it was all about the people, and it was part of the journey. I miss everyone that's been on there, and it's as you mentioned earlier, it's like when we all see each other, it's like no time has passed. But really when I coming in here today, I had to think about it. I was like, it's been 17 years since it started. I can't believe it's been that long, and I have so many pictures from the tour. I think I sent Josh 50 of them, because I couldn't.
Which we'll be sharing, by the way, on social media, so you'll get to see all these cool pictures.
Oh, so many of them, and it just brings back so many memories, and I cannot be more grateful for the opportunity that I had, and for it was a family. It absolutely was a family, and we all traveled together. We were there during a lot of great times, and when some of us would fall and have some very difficult times, and we pick each other up, and I miss it a lot. I really do. So it's really awesome getting to reflect on that and getting to talk about it. It's always been a huge place in me, and it always will be. I always talk about the Barney years were the best time of my life, bar none. So
I am so blessed to have this show for that reason. It's brought Barney back into my life, and it's brought all of us back together again, and these amazing people. I am very grateful that both of you showed up today. It is just so damn good to see you.
Thank you, Randall.
And I just have a feeling it won't be the last time. You'll have to come back. We got all kinds of surprises and people coming back.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for watching. I love you very much. Remember to keep your eyes, ears, and your heart open, and you'll find your purple road. I'll see you next week.
What's up, y'all? Patrick McAllister, Josh Martin, little Led Zeppelin Beastie Boys mashup for you. Purple Roads. Check it out. Now just plug me in, just like I was Eddie Harris. You eating crazy cheese like you would think I'm from Paris. You know I get fly, you think I get high. You know that I'm going and I'ma tell you all why. So tell me, who are you dissing? Maybe I'm missing the reason that you're smiling a while. And so listen, in my head I'm just gonna take them down. Imagination let loose, and I'm gonna shake them down. Let it flow like a mudslide. And when I get on, I like to vibe and glide. I got depth of perception in my text, y'all. I get props at my mention cause I vex, y'all. So what you want? I got the money that you're funny when you're flaunt. I say, where you get your information from, huh? You think that you can front when revelation comes? Yeah, you can't front on that. Patrick, go. So what you want? There's the pick.
Yeah.
I got it.
That was super coordinated. We rehearsed that.
Oh man, so that was Purple Roads, episode 12. What do I think about this episode? It was amazing, with the exception of country music, it's not my thing. So anyways, guys, that wraps up this episode of LJPCBM, episode 419. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be Purple Roads, episode 13. But until next time, salute Jefferson, goodbye, peace out, baby. We get more LJPCBM, you guys very soon. Till then, Jefferson out. See ya.
Given unto me this life I'll never take for granted, and given all the time I failed to really understand it, I never sought to meet the maker of reality. change is always happening, but I try. All the time I ask, why me? Why was I the one to see things as I do?